Oh, the poor Wii U. To start off with some negativity, this console generation has not been too kind to Nintendo. After the resounding success of the Wii, Nintendo was placed in a bit of an awkward pickle. They had the attention of a new casual audience, but left their dedicated hardcore fanbase a bit disappointed. So when they revealed the Wii U in 2012, I believe they were trying to please both audiences at once. As we all know, it didn't work. In fact, the Wii U is firmly on track to becoming the worst-selling Nintendo console in their history so far. Since the launch of the PS4, it has sold nearly 36 million units worldwide, whereas the Wii U just barely scraped its way to 10. Whether it was due to weak specs, a confusing marketing campaign, or simply not knowing what to do with the gamepad in general, honestly, it hardly matters now, because despite this massive commercial failure, the Wii U has some really solid games in its library. Damn good games. And to deny their quality would just be wrong. So, let's take a look at the underdog. This is my top 5 Wii U games. Mario Kart 8 is an amazing game, and in my opinion, the best Mario Kart in the series to date. Yes, the game looks absolutely gorgeous with its course layouts being so detailed you'll keep noticing new things every time you play them, but what I'm more fond of with this installment is game balance. One of the biggest criticisms the Mario Kart series has always been a target of is that it's luck-based because of the item system. Nothing has quite changed here in that regard, but I've noticed that my wins have mostly relied on skill rather than just plain luck. The more potent items such as the blue shell and lightning bolts have been scaled back a bit and appear much less often than in previous games. On top of that, we've also been given a new item called the Super Horde, which can effectively kill any hazard that flies at you, blue shells included.
Fuck you all! Nothing can touch Isabelle! She's fucking invincible! Look at her go! Ooh. Oh. That's not good.
The online is also really reliable, and I've rarely encountered lag in any race, even those on the other side of the world. Couple that with tight controls, an awesome soundtrack, and a sweet fucking DLC that's priced very reasonably I might add, and you've got yourself one hell of a good game. Plus, how could I not include a game in the top 5 that gives me a slow motion feature to gaze at these beautiful Waluigi crotch shots? Well, I guess there's just one more mode to try now. What is this, 200cc? Wow, that must be fast. I wonder what it's like.
Oh dear God, help me! Wait, no! Don't hit the wall! Luigi! Luigi! Oh God, I'm going through the roof. I broke the course! What is even happening?
Don't play 200cc. You will hate yourself. Mario was great, right? We all love Mario. Zelda's awesome too, and as we all know, both franchises have been mainstays on Nintendo's consoles since the beginning, and they have delivered quality titles time and time again. However, despite our love for these franchises, fans have always wondered, what would happen if Nintendo branched out a bit? What if for once we just got something different? Well, Nintendo finally decided to deliver on that with their newest IP, Splatoon. Splatoon is endlessly interesting because it's both unique and takes Nintendo drastically out of their comfort zone. They never dip their toes into shooters nor online heavy games, yet this one is both simultaneously. And it's unquestionably so Nintendo. Instead of trying to make a gritty, dark shooter game about ex-marines and soldiers willing to fight and die for their country, Nintendo opts to make their shooter revolve around squids. Random, yes, but it's the concept here that really makes me a fan. The main mode of the game is called Turf Wars, where instead of just shooting each other and getting kills, your objective is to paint as much of the battlefield as possible in your color. Sure, you can still take out your opponents, but that won't get you very far. The key to winning is having a good ground game, and I have to say, it's a really refreshing and well thought out take on the traditional shooter game. If you're hankering for more of a challenge and want to store your self-esteem, ranked battles are also an option, and there are many modes to play and competing. These battles are winner-take-all and are very competitive and brutal. They hurt my soul. Thankfully, the online connection to support all this is pretty flawless, even more so than Mario Kart 8. The only time I ever experienced lag was when my own internet was being faulty. Though if you don't want to go online, there's also a neat little single-player campaign. This is where Splatoon turns from a shooter into a platformer, and it works really well. The level design is well crafted and imaginative, and it can be very addicting to keep you playing. Pick up the game's amiibo set, and you just unlocked a challenge mode that will add a few more hours of playtime to your Splatoon experience. All in all, Splatoon is one heck of a package and definitely deserves a spot in your Wii U library. Like Splatoon, Super Mario Maker is yet another step out of the big N's comfort zone. Rarely do they allow anyone but them to create Mario levels, yet this is what this game is all about. Actually, I like to think of Mario Maker as more of a toy than a traditional Mario game. Designing Mario levels has been every kid's dream since they picked up their controller for the first time, and thanks to this game, that dream has been realized. Never would I have ever thought when I was 10 that one day I'd be able to handcraft, yes, that's handcraft, my own Mario levels and make my own Mario adventure. Yes, it's disappointing that your toolset is missing a lot of iconic Mario assets, such as the charging chucks, Scuba Kids, and various power-ups, as well as slopes. Come on, Nintendo, even the Smash Bros. Stage had those. But I think that it really speaks volumes for the Mario series as a whole. When you have so many original assets that there's no possible way you could ever hope to include them all into one game, I think it's actually more of a positive aspect for Mario than a negative one. The game also has plenty of original and often wacky assets that really come out of left field, so it doesn't just rely on nostalgia alone. Though what's really the icing on the cake is that you can also play other people's levels from around the globe, literally making this an endless Mario game. The 100 Mario Challenge is the main focal point of this aspect, and well, it's very hit or miss. 99% of the time you're playing either auto levels, nonsense levels, and God only knows what else. It's very random, so don't take it too seriously. Thankfully, the game allows you to find the good levels for yourself with the star and bookmark systems, so it's got your back if you're looking for something of substance. This is the best use of the gamepad for any Wii U game because it's so innovative, yet it doesn't feel like a gimmick. It feels absolutely natural, and it really should have been a launch title for the Wii U from the get-go. Oh come on, you knew this was somewhere on the list. Yeah, it's a bit of an obvious choice, but it's a valid one nonetheless. Personally, I consider this to be the definitive Smash Bros. Game, as it houses the most solid rendition of its iconic fighting system to date. It's not as ridiculously fast as Melee, but you're not jumping on the moon like you're in Brawl. It's a very good in-between, and I'm a huge fan of it. This is the point where I believe the core Smash Bros. Formula has come as close as it can to perfection. This game is loaded. You thought Brawl had a lot of content? Fucking please. This game is filled to the brim with shit to do. It has a plethora of modes like Classic Mode, Event Mode, you could challenge your skills in Master Orders where you buy challenges, or the Masochistic Crazy Orders where you play those challenges in one perfect run. Sure, we may not have an Adventure Mode this time around, but no worries, we now have Smash Tour. Okay, yeah, the lack of an Adventure Mode is disappointing, but check out this DLC! Holy fuck! Cloud, Ryu, fucking Bayonetta? This is like my fantasy roster I had when I was 12. And not only that, but they all play very uniquely from anybody in the Smash roster ever. Even if your character isn't in the core lineup, there's also a strong possibility that they're still in the game as a costume. Look guys, Ridley is here. He wasn't too big after all. Better than Smash Bros., better than Mario Kart 8 or any Zelda remake, Xenoblade Chronicles X, in my opinion, is the best Wii U game on the console to date. It has so much it tries to do, so many things this game tries to be, and it all just works. It contains the best, most vibrant open world I've ever seen in any video game. This world is fucking massive, and has even been proven to be bigger than Skyrim and Fallout 4 combined. Though despite this largeness, the environment is so detailed and gorgeous throughout. Compared to the original Xenoblade on Wii, the overall plot does lack the level of emotional and deep philosophies its predecessor had, but it's still engaging nonetheless. The general synopsis is that Earth was destroyed in a war between alien races. The last of the human race escaped on a ship called the White Whale, but was promptly shot down and had to make an emergency landing on a nearby planet called Mira. This raises the stakes from the very beginning, and you never feel like you're the hunter, but the hunted. You always feel vulnerable at any moment, and any deaths that occur, yes, people can canonically die in this game, feel like a legitimate loss, and it really hits home. If the plot still doesn't seem as appealing, no worries, it makes up for it plenty with endless hours of exploration. You are meant to go out and see the world. There are times when the game locks your story progress behind required missions, and honestly, that's okay. It encourages you to explore every inch and find every landmark you can. The story is told by the world itself, and because it's so huge, it just makes the feat that much more impressive. The battle system in X is very similar to its Wii counterpart, both keeping its complexity and improving and adding features where it matters most. Every battle feels exhilarating and very rewarding when you're able to take out an enemy 10 levels higher than you. Speaking of complexity, this game is very fucking complicated, in a good way. There's a lot of mechanics to learn, a lot of relationships you have to keep track of, and a lot of side quests to do. It's nuts. The game starts out slow, but once you hit chapter 3, it's no holds barred. You will feel overwhelmed by it all, so be prepared. It may not be for everybody. My advice would be just to sit down and take one thing at a time. Learn at your own pace. This is not a game meant to be played over a weekend. I'm in over 40 hours myself at the moment, and yet I don't even think I'm halfway through yet. This is a game you could potentially be playing for years, so don't be discouraged if you don't progress quickly. Oh man, I haven't even mentioned skells yet. At about the 40-hour point, yes, the 40-hour point, you finally get a license to pilot your very own giant mech suit called a skell. And this thing kicks so much ass! Up until this point, the game teases you in bits and pieces about this thing, especially in the opening. But once you get it, damn, you feel like you're on top of the world, like nothing can stop you. If it seems like I'm just randomly jumping around from point to point, I apologize, but this game just has so much to it. I don't think I could ever do it justice. I haven't even touched upon how great the characters are, how fluid the gamepad integration is, or how incredible the soundtrack is, and yet there's still a lot of things to cover even after that. So I'll just sum it up like this. When you buy Xenoblade Chronicles X, you are buying 100 plus hours of content, driven by a huge open world with little glitches and a very stable frame rate. The world simultaneously conveys its plot and develops its characters in a way you wouldn't think possible. And this is only emphasized by its perfectly arranged soundtrack and contains a solid gameplay experience that will have you invested for hours at a time. For this, and countless other reasons, Xenoblade Chronicles X is my favorite Wii U game, and possibly one of my favorite video games of all time. Period. Well, until Zelda U comes out, I guess.
Stupid Link! Horses don't run into trees!
Did I do it? Did I do good? Oh guys, I just finished making the video and I'm so happy it's done. I gotta say, this is probably one of the most detailed videos I ever made, so it would mean the world to me if you would give the video a like and perhaps share it with your friends. So what are your favorite top 5 Wii U games? We're genuinely curious. Let us know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of Alternate Buttons.